Hello guys, welcome to Academic Coordinates. Before us we've got a quadratic inequality 1 minus x multiplied by x plus 2 less than 0. So this is a quadratic inequality that we need to solve. I'm going to show you how to solve this graphically, and I'm going to show you how to also solve it using the table method. So you should have an idea, guys, of how this function looks like. You know what I'm saying? As I've said that when your a is positive, your parabola is going to look like this, and when your a is negative, your parabola is going to look like this. Then when I speak of a, I speak of a x squared plus bx plus c. So I just want you to be convinced that the a of this portion here is actually a negative, right? Because take note, a negative x times x is going to be minus x squared. So we are dealing with this right here. So let's find the critical values here. So that is going to be, we've got 1 minus x, where x is going to equals to what? Where x is going to equals to 1, right? And then we've got on x plus 2, x is going to equals to minus 2. So the critical values, it's 1 and minus 2, right? So these will constitute the roots of the parabolic function, right? So our parabolic function is going to look something like this. It's not drawn to scale. So here it's minus 2, here it's 1. Okay. So let me just explain what this is asking us right now. I'll just quickly explain that. Okay, this is the x-axis. Its equation is y is equals to 0. This is the y-axis. Its equation is x is equals to 0. So what is this? What this is asking us is asking us, where is this graph below the x-axis? And this graph is definitely below the x-axis at this portions here. This graph is below the x-axis here. Obviously, it continues further down. So it is below the x-axis. So we're supposed to make an expression for that. So when x is less than minus 2 or x is greater than 1, then let's express that using the interval notation. This weird looking e here is just an element of, or it's a member of. So minus infinity to minus 2. So I'm going to put round brackets, union with 1 to positive infinity. Remember that the round brackets, guys, are basically just showing you that this minus 2 and this 1 are not included. You know, they were only going to be included if there was equals to at that point. You know, if it was less or equals to 0, then we're going to have square brackets, you know. Okay, cool. Let's continue. So this is your final answer. Let me quickly show you guys how you can use the table method to actually solve this, you know. Okay, so for the table method, as I've said, that the only thing you need to know is that a positive times a positive is equals to a positive. A negative times a negative is equals to a positive, and a positive times a negative and vice versa is negative. So now you've got 1 minus x bracket, then you've got x plus 2. So what are the critical values here? The critical values is actually minus, it's minus 2 and 1, you know. Okay, let's roll. So choose any value that is less than negative 2. Let's say negative 3. You put it here. What are we going to get? You're going to get a positive value, right? Okay, maybe let me actually do that one. So 1 minus, let's choose, I don't know, negative 3. This is going to be 1 plus 3, which is 4. So that's why you get a positive value here. So any value of x that is less than minus 2, right? So choose any value of x that is between 1 and minus 2. So let's say 0, 0 there. So we choose 0. So in that case, it's going to be 1 minus 0. So that's still a positive value, right? That is still a positive value, And then now at 1, what do we have? If we substitute 1 over here, we're going to get a 0, right? Then any value of x that is greater than 1, let's say 10, for example, we are going to get a what? A negative value. Okay, let's choose now any value of x that is less than minus 2 and insert it here. Let's say minus 3, for example. Minus 3, so minus 3 plus 2, that's a negative value. And then at minus 2, this point, we're going to get a 0. So because minus 2 plus 2, that's a 0. And then any value of x between 1 and 2, that is going to be, let's say, 0. Or let's say minus 1. For example, minus 1 plus 2, that's a positive number. Okay. And then any value of x that is greater than 1, let's say 100. 100 plus 2 is 102. So that's a positive value. So now let's multiply out. A positive times a negative, that is a negative. A positive times a positive, that's a positive. And then a negative times a positive, that is a negative. Right? Okay. So remember what you are being asked here. We're being asked as to if you've got two portions, 1 minus x and x plus 2. If you've got those two portions multiplying each other, when will they equals to? When will they be less than 0? In other words, when will they be negative? So this is this and this. So how do we express that? When x is less than minus 2 or x is greater than 1, as you guys can see from these portions. As I've said, you can also use the interval notation, minus infinity to minus 2 over there. Minus infinity to minus 2, union with 1 to infinity. Okay, guys, it can't get any better than that, Do stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your day.